The far future, here defined as the time beyond the 10th millennium, has been used as a setting in many works of fiction or popular scientific speculation. Doctor Who. The British science fiction series Doctor Who has featured many events beyond the 10th millennium AD. 12,005 AD. According to the episode, The End of the World, a new Roman Empire has been established on Earth by this year, 17,100 AD. The Doctor and Amy Pond visit the Delirium archive, and receive a message from River Song, 37,166 AD. Planet of Evil. A geological survey is almost annihilated by antimatter creatures. 200,000 AD. Events of the Long Game. The mighty Jagrafess is revealed to have usurped the fourth great and bountiful human empire. 200,100 AD. Events of Bad Wolf, and the Parting of the Ways. Earth culture is dominated by lethal game shows and reality television transmitted from a giant space station. The Jagrafess is revealed to have been a pawn of the Daleks, who attempt an invasion of Earth after the Dalek Emperor recreates the race following the events of the last Great Time War. 500,000 AD. Humanity on Earth have evolved into herbivores. The last creature alive in the polluted world is Ingaiga, the Ancient One, who was brought to the 10th century by the power of Fenric. 2 million AD. The mysterious planet. Earth is devastated after being moved by the Time Lords and renamed Ravolox. At some unknown point thereafter, Earth is returned to its original position. 4 million AD. The Usurians exploit and ruthlessly tax humans on Pluto. 10 million AD. In the Ark, a group of humans and Minoids make a 700-year star voyage from Earth, which is about to crash into the Sun. 5 billion AD. The End of the World. The date is given by the locals as 5.5, Apple 26. The episode establishes the destruction of the original planet Earth at this time, caused by the expansion of its sun. 5 billion and 23 AD. In the episode New Earth, humans are shown to have moved to a new planet and called it New Earth in the galaxy M87. 5 billion and 53 AD. Events of Gridlock. Inhabitants of New York released from quarantine. The face of Bo, one of the oldest creatures in the universe, apparently dies. 100 trillion AD. Utopia. The last remnants of humanity seek out a legendary utopia in this year, aided by a Time Lord with suppressed memories, revealed to be the Master. Dune. Frank Herbert's Dune series spans thousands of years of distant future history in a galactic, and eventually multi-galactic, setting, describing an interstellar feudal system enabled by a prescience imbuing drug known as the Spice. c. 11,713–12,397 AD. Rise of the thinking machines and their enslavement of humanity. c. 12,799–912 AD. Butlerian jihad ends the rule of the thinking machines. c. 13,000 AD. Wundag, the Spacing Guild founded. c. 23,190–193 AD. Events of June. The Galactic Emperor Shaddam IV leads Duke Leto Atreides into a trap by handing him a rakish, the only known source of the spice, only to have him killed by Vladimir Harkonnen. Leto's son Paul Atreides escapes and overthrows the Emperor. c. 23,206–207 AD. Events in Dune Messiah. Paul concludes a jihad to unify the Empire under his rule. Conspiracy against Paul fails, but leaves him blind. His children Leto and Ganima are born. c. 23,216–217 AD. Events of Children of Dune. Paul Atreides dies, his son Leto too merges with a sandworm, allowing him to rule for thousands of years. The Golden Path is established. c. 26,725 AD. Events of God Emperor of June. Leto II is killed. c. 28,229–230 AD. Events of Heretics of June. The honored Matra destroyer Rakish. c. 28,240 AD. Events of Chapter House June. A new June is being created on the Chapter House planet. c. 28,241–259 AD. Events of Hunters of June. The thinking machines are shown to control threads of evolution, space and time. c. 28,260–267 AD. Events of Sandworms of June. Day of Kralizak ends with the defeat of the thinking machines and humanity's move beyond prescient detection. Foundation series. Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, comprising the union of his robot novels, Galactic Empire novels and Foundation novels, describes a future history of humanity from 1996 to tens of thousands of years from now. The 11th millennium occurs after the end of the robot stories. 11,300 AD. Events of the stars, like dust. The planet Rhodia rebels against a local tyranny and rediscovers the U.S. Constitution, leading to a brief experiment with democracy. 12,000 AD. Events of the currents of space. Trantor expands its territory. Knowledge that Earth is the human birth world is slowly fading. 12,500 AD. The Galactic Empire is founded with Trantor as its capital. 13,327 AD. Events of Pebble in the Sky. A shunned Earth rediscovers its heritage. 24,520 AD. Events of Prelude to Foundation. Hari Seldon begins his attempts to make psychohistory practical in order to stave off the imminent collapse of the Empire. 24,528–569 AD. Events of Forward the Foundation. Hari Seldon, his family gradually dying around him, begins to formulate the Seldon Plan and found the Foundation and Second Foundation. 24,567 AD. Hari Seldon put on trial. Foundation exiled to Terminus. 24,569–762 AD. Events of Foundation. Anakaron declares independence. The Foundation's homeworld of Terminus is cut off from the Empire. Over time, it begins to exert religious and then economic influence over its surrounding region. 24,762–867 AD. Events of Foundation and Empire. Trantor is sacked. The Foundation is attacked first by the Remnant Empire and then by the Mule, a powerful psychic, who succeeds in conquering it, overthrowing the remains of the Empire and establishing his own. 24,867–943 AD. Events of Second Foundation. The Second Foundation defeats the Mule and then eludes the First Foundation's attempt to conquer it. 25,065 AD. Events of Foundation's Edge. Golan Trevize attempts to locate the legendary Earth, only to discover Gaia, a previously unknown power in the galaxy, who offer an alternative to the Seldon Plan or a new empire. Galaxia, a galaxy in which all life and non-life is unified in a single intelligence. 25,066 AD. Events of Foundation and Earth. Golan Trevize locates Earth, now radioactive and uninhabitable, but ultimately locates Daniel Olivar, a 20,000-year-old robot who has been secretly guiding humanity's evolution from a base on the Moon. 12,700,000–15 million AD. Humanity has completely died out according to an alternate future described in The End of Eternity. This future was supposedly avoided by ensuring that humanity gained access to intergalactic travel. The book's connection to the Foundation series is contested, but several links have been established. The future is wild. The The Future is Wild was a speculative documentary hypothesizing how life could evolve over the course of millions of years. 5 million. The world is in an ice age. The Mediterranean Sea will be a vast salt plain and the Amazon rainforest will be a grassland. Creatures of this land include huge killer birds, thin-legged pigs, sticky-frilled lizards and birds that act like whales. Humans, by this time, have either gone extinct or have left the planet. 100 million. In 100 million years' time, the world will be very hot due to excess volcanic activity. Antarctica will be a lush rainforest. Creatures of this world include dinosaur-sized tortoises, amphibious octopuses, four-winged birds and eusocial spiders. At this time, there is also only one species of mammal left, which is farmed by the spiders. 200 million. In 200 million years' time the world will contain one global ocean and one continent, like Pangaea. Approximately 100 million years before this time, there was a mass extinction and now most of the world's land is desert, with a couple of rainforests around the edge. Creatures of this world include air-breathing flying fish, giant plankton, various huge worms, highly specialized insects and intelligent, arboreal land squid. There are no mammals, no birds, no reptiles, no amphibians, only one species of flowering plants and only sharks left to represent aquatic fish. Other creatures have moved in to fill these niches. Last and First Men and Star Maker. Olaf Stapledon's novels Last and First Men and Star Maker are speculations on the evolution of intelligence in the universe. Last and First Men explores the future evolution of intelligence on Earth, while Star Maker explores the technological and social changes undergone by various alien species. Last and First Men 100,000 AD. Rise and fall of the Patagonians. The First Men enter in eclipse. About 10 million AD. Rise of the Second Men. The Martian Wars and the ruin of two worlds. 120 million AD. Third Men in the wilderness. Rise of Fourth Men. 400 million AD. The Moon crashes into Earth. The Fifth Men migrate to Venus. 1 billion AD. The Sun begins to expand into a red giant. Migration of the Ninth Men to Neptune. 2 billion AD. End of man. 5 trillion AD. The Sun dies. Star Maker 20 billion AD. The War of Worlds occurs. 30 billion AD. The Second Galactic Utopia occurs. 40 billion AD. The first colonization of dead stars occurs. 50 billion AD. The supreme moment of the cosmos occurs. 500 billion AD. Complete physical quiescence of the universe. The Last Question. Isaac Asimov's short story, The Last Question, charts the future evolution of man as subsequent generations ask ever more complex computers the same question. Can entropy be reversed? The story begins in 2061, when the supercomputer Multivis is asked the question and responds, insufficient data for meaningful answer. The story then jumps forward to an unspecified time at least 1,000 years later, in which a spaceship-born computer is asked the same question, and gives the same answer. California, 22,000. Humans, now immortal, are filling up the Milky Way galaxy and are considering expanding beyond it. The galactic AC is asked the question and replies, there is insufficient data for a meaningful answer. California, 10 billion. Mankind now sleeps in hibernation as minds travel the universe. The hyperspatial computer the Universal AC is asked the question and replies, there is as yet insufficient data for a meaningful answer. California, 100 billion. Man, now a single cosmic intelligence, realizes that the stars are winding down. The cosmic AC is asked the question and responds, there is as yet insufficient data for a meaningful answer. California, 10 trillion. Man fuses with the AC and entropy destroys the universe. Some unspecified amount of time later, the AC, from its home in hyperspace, formulates its answer to the question and demonstrates it with the exclamation, let there be light. The late Philip J. Fry. The Futurama episode, The Late Philip J. Fry, concerns a journey into the far future, 10,000 AD. Post-apocalyptic future in which first the humans, then the apes, then the birds, then the cows and then the ambiguous slug-like creatures each created and destroyed their respective civilizations. 105,105 AD. Snowball Earth in which Eskimos ride walruses. 252,525 AD. Medieval world in which knights ride ostriches. 351,120 AD. Ocean planet in which giant carnivorous shrimp use merman-like lures to catch prey. 1,000,000.5 AD. Another medieval world in which mankind has been enslaved by giraffes. 5 million AD. Humanity has diverged into two separate species, hyper-advanced elfin humanoids and the brutish Dumlocks. 5,000,005 AD. Time by which the Dumlocks have destroyed the elfin humanoid civilization. 10 million AD. Terminator-esque future in which humanity has been enslaved by killer machines. 50 million AD. Advanced civilization composed primarily of scantily clad buxom women. 1 billion AD. All life is extinct on Earth. 1040 AD. The universe ends. Some point later, a second universe begins. Star Trek. The science fiction franchise Star Trek has made several allusions to far future events. 12,200 AD. Radiation levels in the Andromeda Galaxy are expected to reach intolerably high levels, according to scientists of the Kelvin Empire. 50,000 AD. The androids of planet Mud will cease to function. 2 million AD. Nella Darren's projected star model is either proved or disproved. 60–70 trillion AD. If the genetically engineered human Jack's prediction was correct, the universe will collapse. The Time Machine. H.G. Wells' novel The Time Machine concerns an anonymous time traveler who embarks on a journey to Earth's far future. 802,701. Most events in the novel occur in this year. The time traveler discovers a land in which the idyllic humanoid Eloi have been reduced to the level of cattle for the cannibalistic Morlocks, who reside underground and tend their flock above with vast machines greater than 30 million. The time traveler arrives at a twilight, desolate beach on a moonless Earth under a cold red sun. The only inhabitants he sees are large, mud-like creatures and giant, threatening crabs. c. 30 million. The beach is now flecked with ice and snow. The only observed life is a football-sized tentacled creature. Warhammer 40,000. The Games Workshop created wargaming franchise Warhammer 40,000 is, as its title suggests, set around the 40th millennium of its fictional universe. Greater than 14,000 AD. Age of Terror. Mankind is confined to the solar system. The future emperor of mankind secretly guides humanity's evolution. 14,000–25,000 AD. Dark Age of Technology. Mankind develops warp travel and reaches out to other star systems, in the process attaining its highest level of technical sophistication. 25,000–30,000 AD. Age of Strife. The rise of psychers and the influence of the Chaos Gods sends the human race into a period of anarchy. Persistent warp storms cut off many human worlds from the rest of the galaxy. Early 30th millennium AD. The fall of the Eldar occurs. Slansh, a god of chaos, is born. The event calms the warp storms, allowing humanity to advance across the galaxy again. 30,000 AD. Age of the Imperium begins. Emperor of mankind, after unifying Shattered Terror, launches a great crusade to reclaim the human planets under his rule and locate the 20 Primarchs scattered across the galaxy by the forces of chaos. c. 30,004 AD. The Horus Heresy begins. The Emperor, after defeating Horus, is placed near death on the Golden Throne. c. 4000-41000 AD. Real time of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. It is the temporal setting for most of the related backstories, novels, video games and other spin-offs released as of January 2013. Update. Xeelee Sequence. Stephen Baxter's Xeelee Sequence, a collection of novels and short stories describing mankind's war with a super-intelligent race called the Xeelee, spans a time period from the Big Bang to billions of years in the future. 10,102 AD. Events of Lakes of Light. 10,515 AD. Events of the Godel Sunflowers. 10,537 AD. Events of Breeding Ground. 12,478 AD. Events of the Dreaming Mold. 12,659 AD. Events of the Great Game. War with the Xeelee begins. 20,424 AD. Events of the Chop Line. 21,124 AD. Events of Vacuum Diagrams. 22,254 AD. Events of In the Unblack. 23,479 AD. Events of Riding the Rock. 24,973 AD. Events of Exultant. Conquest of the Galactic Center by the Human Race. 24,974 AD. Events of Mayflower 2. 27,152 AD. Events of Between Worlds. c. 40,000 AD. The bifurcation of mankind occurs. c. 90,000 AD. Reunification. 104,858 AD. Events of Raft and Stowaway. 168,349 AD. Launch of the Exaltation of the Integrality. 171,257 AD. Events of the Tyranny of Heaven. 193,474 AD. Events of Hero. 193,700 AD. Events of Flux. 200,000 AD. Establishment of the Commonwealth. c. 500,000 AD. Events of Transcendent. c. 500,000 AD. Mankind begins its retreat. c. 1 million AD. Events of the Siege of Earth. Humanity is defeated and imprisoned. c. 1–4 million years from now. Xeelee and Photino birds alter physical universe. c. 4 million years from now. Migration of Xeelee through the ring. Sun leaves the main sequence. Events of Secret History. 4,101,214 AD. Events of Shell. 4,101,266 AD. Events of the Eighth Room. 4,101,284 AD. Events of the Baryonic Lords. 4,900,000 years from now. Final destruction of the ring by Photino birds begins. 5 million years from now. Events of Ring. 10 million years from now. Virtual extinction of baryonic life. Most of the last humans survive on a time-shifted Earth. 3,800,000,000 years from now. Periandry's Quest. 4 billion years from now. Climbing the Blue. 4,500,000,000 years from now. Events of the Time Pit. 4,800,000,000 years from now. Events of the Lowland Expedition. 5 billion years from now. Events of Formidable Caress. Milky Way Andromeda Collision. 1,500,000,000,000 years from now. Stars evaporate from galaxies.